Manchester City has been the only team in this decade to lift the Premier League title two times in a row in 2017-18 and 2018-19 season. They have now won it 4 times in the past 10 years.
But coming out on top again in the Premier League, Manchester City. The SerieA winner has got another trophy for the cabinet. The past masters have finally passed Liverpool.
Mike Dean thought that Aurier got the ball. Hugo Lloris saved a penalty against City in the Champions League last season, and he's repeated the trick. Lucas Moura clips it. Oh, great goal! Stephen Bergwijn has arrived in North London. That is absolutely incredible on debut. Does well. Son is free to score. 2-0 Tottenham Hotspur. He can celebrate. Spurs can celebrate. Simon couldn't hurt.
Sent over the top, and it creeps into the net of a scoop set piece. Edison will get to this. He hurls the ball out. It's a long-range attempt to score for United.
Fabinho has a go. Here's Robertson. Salah coming in. Liverpool. And another counter-punch. Very well to get the cross in.
Welcome guys, my name is Ishan. Welcome back to Talk Football, home of reviews, tactics and transfer talks. In this video, we'll take a look at Manchester City and what has gone wrong. In the past 2 seasons, City has been their relentless best, notching up 198 points in the respective years. They just had a total of 6 losses in the Premier League and conceded just around 25 goals in each year. They had higher goals scored per game, big chances created per game and lesser goals conceded per game. But this year, they have already lost 8 games in total. That's the most Pep Guardiola has ever lost in top flight management. The 25-point difference at the top says a lot about their performance this year. Hit with several injury crises, players leaving and tactical flaws up front, City has definitely suffered a lot. The cause of downfall of champions has mainly because of the 2 reasons, personal and tactical issues. The main personal factor had occurred prior to the league even being started. Club legend and captain Vincent Kompany deciding to leave the club and their failure to replace him, and Leroy Sané's cruciate ligament injury in the Community Shield game. The series of bad news followed as Aymeric Laporte picked up serious knee injury and he will eventually miss around 30 games. These were the major injuries apart from Sergio Aguero's 1-month layoff in December, Alexander Zinchenko's 51 days, John Stones' injury in October and Rodri's hamstring injury issues making them miss around 7 games each. Thus, Kompany's absence and Laporte's injury meant City were without their main pair of centre-backs since the start of the season. Otamendi slotted in at Kompany's position alongside Laporte until matchday 4, but since Laporte's injury, their main centre defensive midfielders Fernandinho had to take the role of the left centre-back. These two being the main pair in City backline, which was seldom rotated with John Stones and sometimes even Rodri. Up front, Sané's injury saw Sterling shifting to left wing position and Mahrez coming in at the right. Now let's take a look tactically. Fernandinho, who had been a crucial player for City under Pep Guardiola, has failed to deliver as a centre-half. City have conceded a lot of goals this season, and what's shocking is that they have conceded a high volume of goals from outside the box. This has happened mainly because the backline drops deep when hit on counters. Fernandinho lacks pace and can be easily bypassed. He has struggled at his new position despite being excellent in the defensive duties as a central defensive midfielder. Playing as a CDM, he excelled at 2 major facets of the game that City badly lack at the moment, making tactical fouls higher up the pitch before allowing teams the chance to get into the dangerous areas, especially on counters, and secondly, guarding the back 4. In addition to this, he isn't good at building up play from the back. Being right-footed, his options are limited. He is also not nearly half as good as bringing the ball out from the back as Laporte, who is an excellent in progressive passing, dribbles per game as a centre-back. Also, Rodri doesn't provide a defensive cover as Fernandinho did in that role. Hence, the build-up play from the back isn't that smooth. In the middle, Rodri is an excellent one-touch passing playmaker, making spaces to continuously supply passing options to his nearest players. Although he doesn't look for long balls to the outrushing wingers, he plays short passes to link up play. This aspect of his game can be improved. Rodri has higher passes per game than Fernandinho, but a lower progressive pass and lower pass into the final third. Last year, Zinchenko, playing at left back, inverted a lot and slotted into the mid-2 pairing with Fernandinho. Him being a midfielder has helped him in this facet of the game. This helps City being solid in the middle, but this year, Mendy as a left back is of more traditional origins. He doesn't invert but continues his run up ahead, occupying the left wing role. City has been used to building up with two in the middle, and this has made Kevin De Bruyne this year drop deep alongside Rodri to build up play from the back and make forward passes more like what Messi does at Barcelona. This leaves Silva the only attacker in the middle in the half spaces. At 34, he has showed signs of slowing down, with the whole burden of creativity falling on his shoulders. Kevin De Bruyne's unavailability in the final third has affected his passes into the box, and touches in the final third count, as City often lacks creativity up front. To solve this issue, Gundogan and Bernardo Silva has been used in place of Silva, and one of these drops deep instead of Kevin De Bruyne, allowing him a free roam in the final third. Mahrez at the right has been phenomenal this season. Actually, he has outperformed last year's Sane. Mahrez has influenced the attacking dynamism under Guardiola this year. Last year, the two wingers Sterling and Sane spread the pitch up front, freeing up half spaces for attacking midfielders Silva and De Bruyne. De Bruyne has been devastating from this area, often threading a pass behind for Sterling, who cuts back for a tap-in goal or cross into the box to Aguero, or many a time made the net bulge himself. While this year both Mahrez and Sterling invert and cut inside to deliver a pass or shoot, Sterling has seen a spike in his shots per game, although his dribbles per 90 has declined. This is mainly due to this region being highly crowded, with both the wingers and the attacking midfielders occupying the same half spaces. This leaves crossing their main attacking options rather than brilliant creativity. The lack of width up front has been compensated by Mendy overlapping on the left and De Bruyne overlapping Mahrez on the right, thus creating a single line of attack. The oppositions come narrow and fills the central area, and it becomes easier to defend against City's fluid passing, being limited only to the sideways. City has been unstable defensively, conceding plenty of goals this term. Last year, they had a cover of 5: Kyle Walker, Vincent Kompany, and Aymeric Laporte at the back, and the first line of defense in Fernandinho and Zinchenko. This year, since Mendy stays high up the pitch, City lose numerical superiority while on counters, with just Rodri being the first line of defense. His highly aggressive nature and tackling leaves him rooted, as opponents often bypass him easily. Fernandinho was excellent in this position, as he would jockey the opponent or commit a tactical foul. But Rodri, still because of his learnings of Atletico Madrid, doesn't press strategically. Now the opposition has started playing to the middle more against City this year. When the midfield is bypassed, next comes the Laporte-less defense with aging legs of Fernandinho and Otamendi, and that's why City doesn't keep a high backline. Fernandinho often comes out of his position and dives into tackle more than Laporte, and the opposition gets free if they bypass him, and Otamendi is poor in 1v1 situations. This leaves them exposed to several goal scoring chances being conceded. City has an aging squad in important positions, and they also have been unlucky and sloppy at many a times this season, missing sitters and errors in the defensive line. Their 16% of the goals have directly come through errors. All of this and Liverpool's consistency has delivered a fatal dent in their title challenges this year. But all is not lost. City just need a little tweak in their team. Now with Sane's move to Bayern being confirmed, you should proceed to the next video linked to the end of this one to see how to make Manchester City better. I've covered in detail what the problems were at City this term, but if you have noticed something I left, let me know in the comment box down below. And if you haven't subscribed until now, do that. Hit the bell icon to drop a like and share this video. And don't forget to watch the video on how to make Manchester City better. I'll see you next time. Until then, as always, peace out.